So, Bombay rains are, you know, unpredictable. The weatherman obviously mostly gets it, somewhat right, but many times they just, cannot anticipate the sheer amount of rain, right? So, some of us who've been here for a long time, we are not so surprised that you can get upwards of 400 millimeters in a day, right? In 2005, we got close to 1 meter, 100 centimeter, 1000 millimeter, right? So, and I think in this water there is a lesson for us, right? When we talk about development and innovation, right? We'll come back to that. Right? So much of water is just getting drained, right? So much of it is falling on our buildings, yet we're not really capturing it. And there's an acute water crisis. Where? Where is the acute water crisis? Chennai, itna dur mat jaiye. Maharashtra, come on, you don't have to go so far. Maharashtra, parts of Maharashtra are very dry, right? I mean, this is another very fascinating part of our geography. One side of the Vindhyas, right, one side gets so much rain and the other side is completely dry, right? So I just to briefly tell you, I'm been here at IIT from 2001. My PhD is in political science. So IIT is one of the rare places where a person with political science degree is allowed to join a management program. So I've joined in 2001, as I said, and I teach courses in international business and information economy. Basically looking at data, information, not the technical side, but more from the political economy, political side, etc. Okay. And I recently just took over, as Gayatri was saying, in the Center for Policy Studies. So we have a 3-year-old, we have 3 PhD batches, a new master's program has started in the policy studies. So we are excited, engaged in that front. But today we want to talk about basically innovation, but coming to that later, right? I want to talk more about development and the crisis of development, right? So we need to, as a good student, I think, or as a student, good or not, that is for you to judge. As a student of our disciplines, we've always been taught that you should ask the good questions, right? If you're very eager to solve the problem just because you have a question in front of you, then you'll be maybe solving the wrong problem. So what are some better ways to frame the question, right? And I'll show you one. So you might have already seen this. Okay, I think it'll just come up. Some of you who are sort of present on social media, I think most of you probably are, may have seen this video, right? So, आप लोग में से, how many of you would want to descend into that well? Frankly, पानी की ज़रूरत है. Well is the only place to get water. How many of you really, frankly, will go into that well? Nobody's put their hand up. Really? Even if water is so important for your everyday needs, you will not go into that well? Huh?
Everyone will have to go.
Everybody will have to go? Really? You agree with him?
If that is the case.
That is the case.
But when they are already descending the bucket, what is the need of going there?
Because it's the very shallow. Water is not deep enough. Or then maybe you're right, you have a good question. Why descend so deeply? Maybe it's really, there may be a better engineering answer to that. Right?
No, in the same video when
Right.
the water is going down,
हाँ.
it means they are
बाकी पानी ज़्यादा नहीं होगा इसलिए. So maybe they want to collect only from the top of that. Right. Yeah, it could be. So it's good to ask those questions about, why really you have to go. But the fact that I'm just taking it on good faith that these people are not stupid, right? That they probably have a reason to go down into the well, right? Otherwise, if they had a solution, they probably would have done it better, right?
sometimes there is a trend of making sensation in social media.
नहीं यार ऐसे मत बोलिए. ये this is a deep water crisis in Maharashtra.
Play the video again, you see that what you call.
No, this has been reported in Indian Express also. National newspapers, I would say, have not sensationalized. If you go to parts of eastern Maharashtra, you've actually deep, yeah. So I'll come back to this point. Why is it that you and I, sitting in Bombay, can get water from 100 kilometers away, 120 kilometers away, yet that person has to go into the well, right? So there is a lack of a certain way of looking at what is resource. Who is it meant for and who gets denied those resources, right? But I'll come back to this point later, right? What I want to talk about today may not be very intuitive right away, but it may ring a bell with you. It may cause some kind of response in you. Okay, so most of our problems in life around are collective, in the sense that we together are contributing to the problem, but the solutions that are offered are almost always at the individual level, right? What about air pollution? Do you think it's only an individual problem? It's also a collective problem. Collective problem, right? Economics पढ़े हैं आप लोग? There is a term for it. Anybody know what is the term used in economics for this collective problem? Negative externality. Beautiful word. But with that word we think that the problem will be solved because we put a nice word to it, so somebody else will solve this problem, right? And if you are from Delhi, or Delhi is one of the most polluted cities in the world, and Patna is not far behind. I come from Bihar, so I can't say कि यहाँ दिल्ली वाले को ज़्यादा polluted हवा पीते हैं तो, लेकिन it's true. Jaipur, Patna, many of these places have very polluted air. And the reason for that pollution is what? Heavy increase in traffic in terms of vehicles on the road. That's not the only reason, but what I'm saying is, I don't mind taking my individual car. If you just stand outside IIT Bombay or wherever it is, right, busy junction in the morning, you'll see hundreds or thousands of cars with only one person sitting at the back. एक driver है सामने और पीछे एक आदमी है, right? And we are all contributing, myself included, contributing to the fact that we'll congest the roads, and we are going to take our vehicles from here to wherever it is, South Bombay. Air pollution will be affected, but that's not my problem. Right? So we are contributing to collective problems, but because we don't have the problems become so overwhelming, so big, that individuals feel that, okay, I can't do anything about it. It is the state's problem, somebody else's problem. Right? I'm going somewhere with this. If you want, you'll be able to see. These are some images that I'm going to share with you. Besides the image that you see, what else do you see here? ये तो, I mean, it's quite clear what you're seeing. और क्या दिख रहा है आपको? वो तो दिख रहा है, you know, what is most clear you can see, but tell me something else that is apparent in this picture. No, don't think from your engineering perspective. Think from the social perspective. What else do you see here? Too many families. So people are basically connecting to the main electric supply, right? Many of them may be quote unquote illegitimate, right? You're paying somebody to be able to make those connections, right? I want my electricity connection, and here is one way to get that. Individual need for electricity, but collectively we have a problem, right? You have fluctuating currents, you have all kinds of problems with electric supply, right? This is ever present, right? Where is this? Could be anywhere, right? In Bombay, it is in Deonar. That is one big place. Deonar has the biggest, landfill. Have you been to any landfill in your city? Chana chahiye. Instead of a tourist attraction, we should make tourist attraction to waste, places where we put all our waste together, because at least our consciousness will start getting affected. What are we doing with our waste? Right. So India does not have enough land like US to keep filling up landfills. Wahan to, there is abundant land, right? 3 times the size of India, and 1/3 its population. In fact, less than 1/3. So our problems are different from the Western world. Right? They have enough land. We don't have enough land. But on waste, what is a big problem? What is a big problem? Yes, one is that we don't have enough land. Lekin where is the real problem? आपके घर से waste ले जाता है कोई, or what happens? Just give me some examples. बताइए. Do you what happens to the waste from your household? Is it taken by somebody or it is just thrown somewhere? Let's be frank. There's no big deal.
Now it has started,
right,
after declaration of a smart city. Now one agency.
Okay. Which city is this?
Bilaspur.
Bilaspur. Okay.
They are collecting it from every.
And where is it going? We should maybe also find out what happens to that.
That solid waste disposal plant is.
Okay. Okay. But all of it can't be, treated that way, right? So the biggest problem in waste management is not the landfill accumulation. It is what? Segregation at source. Wet waste can be composted. Dry waste has so many components. E-waste hai, plastic hai, paper hai, so many things, right? If you segregate all of that, you can easily create new businesses, right? Paper, for instance, now we know, right? For a long time, the paper wala comes, he takes your stuff. You're not too worried because, okay, it's being recycled. At the back of your mind, you feel, okay, there's some productive. Plastic, on the other hand, right? Wet waste. At least in BMC, there is a guideline that large societies like IIT, right, with 100 plus flats, etc., they have to do what? Treat their own wet waste. लेकिन नहीं करते हम लोग, right? So we'll come back to behavior. Why don't we really individually address these problems that are amounting to huge collective problems? Individual level pay, we are not doing anything which is amounting to air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, everything. Right. I'm not saying the state has to be taken out. The state obviously has to put in guidelines, etc. But I'm trying to make an argument in the morning today that as individuals, we also have to make a shift in our behavior. Okay. And I'm going to make that as a serious argument, right? It's not ki, pencil sharpening, you have to sharpen the pencil better, etc. Right? There is even an entire science that has in economics. You might have heard of behavioral economics. So behavioral economics is all about thinking about changing human behavior. But I'll come back to that later. Some more images. Traffic, right? Vehicles, again coming back to that issue, right? This could be in Muzaffarpur, where I come from, right? Now famous and infamous for lychee and other things, okay? But this could be in Ghatkopar also, Bombay, right? So, I mean, problems are all around us. Every single place you can see outside, you observe closely, there is something needing an answer, okay? And now, last but not the least, we can't leave water out of Bombay, right? So, serial देखना है, पानी जितना भी अंदर आए, तो we have to watch, entertainment. I'm just on the lighter side, okay? Okay. So, the social has been taken out of the equation, mostly, right? All our solutions in economic and political and technological are mostly about the individual, the brilliant individual solving the problems of the world, right? I'm being provocative. Individuals are important. But our problems have become, I'm trying to say, so large, so overwhelming, so huge, that individuals by themselves, by their own single individual efforts, cannot address these problems. Lekin uska jo, one response to if we think this way is that it's so overwhelming, lekin main karun kya? Air pollution is such a big deal, waste management is such a big deal, what can I do as an individual? So we give up in despair, we throw up our hands, kuch nahi kar sakte hain, right? So there is a gap, if we do not address these problems, we look to the state, right? State, my baap ho gaya, it will do everything for us. So it's an interesting paradox. Individuals feel overwhelmed, they look to the state is too overwhelmed because bahut sara problems hai, right? So neither the individual does it nor the state does it, and we are in this permanent crisis, okay? So please interrupt me, stop me, you want to ask questions, please go ahead. This is my observations. You are welcome to interrupt me and ask me questions about anything, right? So how do we bring the social back into the framework, right? That's a question from my political science background, my policy background and management background, right? The social is very critical, okay? So what is this definition of the social in a way, right? There could be many definitions. Human beings living together as a group in a situation in which their dealings with one another affect their common welfare, right? If I throw a piece of paper, pura saaf hai na, floor. Suppose I throw a piece of paper, very carelessly. Would you be, you'd be affected, na? Ki, sir, kya rahe? Why is he throwing a piece of paper on the ground when everything looks very clean? But somehow, right out on the street, nobody would bother, right? So my behavior as an individual is contextual, right? Here I'll be seen behaving and it's wrong. If I go outside and do the same behavior, chalta hai, no big deal, right? Okay. So, here are some things I'm going to talk about. Basically, the social roots, how do we harness the social ties that bind us to each other, right? Just one slide on the economic problems that we're having, right? I mentioned to you the social problems, but economically, our situation is also not in great shape. 3/4 of all rural Indians individually earn less than rupees 5,000 per month, individually. 75%. And 9 out of every 10 rural households have no members earning more than rupees 10,000 per month. So, we really facing, going forward, what kinds of ways? I don't have, mere paas Nobel Prize nahi hai ki I have all the answers. Even a Nobel Prize winner, I think, does not have all the answers. There's a huge problem in front of us, right? But we have to be able to start asking. My thought for the day in the morning is, what are some better questions to ask of the problem around us, okay? All right. So if we look at the pyramid in India, China and Brazil, right? The global economic pyramid, right? What you find is, in PPP terms, नाम सुना होगा PPP? What is it? Yeah, thank you. Purchasing power parity. Right. So if you break it up into 4 segments, right, tier 1 to tier 4, right, what you find is most management schools, including in IIT, right, most of our solutions is targeted where? Yeah, tier 1 and tier 2. Yes, no, please be candid. We are all old enough to hear the truth about which business school in India, for that matter, really addresses problems of the bottom of the economic pyramid. Tata Center का वही mandate है ना. That is why the Tata Center has really been made that we address problems of the bottom tier. Are there problems different from the problems of the top? What do you think? क्या लगता है आपको? Housing problem, यहाँ का जो housing problem है और यहाँ का housing problem, is it the same? You are saying no, क्यों? Why? और any for that matter, कोई भी problem ले लीजिए, water problem ले लीजिए, housing problem ले लीजिए, education problem ले लीजिए, health problem ले लीजिए, anything that you want. Is it the same or is it different? And how different if it is? Suppose it's not a question only of wealth, what else?
They don't have access to first the basic needs.
Okay. तो बट ये तो 60-70 साल हो गया, अभी तक कब तक ये बोलते रहेंगे कि they don't have resources, they don't have resources, they don't have resources, right? And our economists are best known in the world. So why is it that after 60-70 years we are still saying the same thing that we were saying in God knows 1950? Housing in India is one of the most what should one say? What is the right word? Under-available, right? At least, Bombay's MMRDA builds about 5,000 to 10,000 units per year. Laughable, huh? For a population of 20 million, crossing 20 million, right? और आप पवई में हैं तो ordinarily, because it's monsoon time, I would not advise you to do this, but there is a hill behind IIT, right? If you had come in November, December, it's a perfect time. You climb that hill and the 2 sides, if you look at the back of the hill, it's not a very steep hill. Right? If you look at the back, whole area is houses covered with a blue top. What is that blue top? Tarpaulin, right? So this happens more now actually, monsoon time. उस समय हट जाता है, November, December. But the starkness of Hira Nandani on one side and those slums on the other side. Amazing distinction. It's right. So housing is in severe crisis. Water कितने लोग को मिलता है? Piped water 120 kilometers away. Less than 50% of the people. Okay. This is not a new problem. This was not discovered in say 2015 or 2000, right? This has been around with us for a long, long time. So if the mandate of Tata Center or an IIT which is funded by the government is that we cannot, ignore these problems, right? Who else will address these problems? Many others will, but IITs should also address these problems, right? So the irony is that most of the traditional economic models are addressing the top of the pyramid, right? आपको एक और गाड़ी चाहिए, I'll sell you one more AC, those at the top will get, so it's almost saturated. That market is quite saturated. The actual interesting thing is how do you provide for services and goods at the bottom of the economic pyramid, not at the top. Even logically speaking, not because I'm not saying anything moral, ethical problem की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. You can, those are good things to think about, but just as a good business solution or doing good business in India, you should have, prospects or business propositions for those at the bottom of the economic pyramid. We have some very interesting solutions. I think Professor Aarti, later on will talk about, for instance, Arvind Eye Care. नाम सुना है आपने? Arvind Eye Care? Anyone? Arvind Eye Care का नाम सुना है? Sure, really? See, that's interesting. No? We have these wonderful organizations in the country, but we don't hear about them, right? So Arvind Eye Care is for Madurai. They do the highest number of cataract operations where? Not in India, in the world. So, don't take my word for it. Google कीजिए, Google भगवान के पास जाइए, वो, they'll give you that clear, answer. Highest number of cataract operations, and they don't do a bad job. They do an excellent job of cataract surgery, and they actually go out into the villages to look for people who have cataract, because many older people, when you are in the age group of 50 plus, etc., you start developing cataract, and you don't really know. If you are not very literate, you think ki old age se, there is blindness coming in. Nobody detects ki cataract problem. So Arvind Eye Care actually goes into the villages looking for people who have problems of cataract, brings them into Madurai. They have other hospitals, other parts, right? And how do they do it, right? As a student of management, I really want to know the operational part. So we went actually with students to Madurai, right? We went into the hospital to see how the operations were, right? You will not believe it. The cleanliness and the efficiency was amazing. So how is it in India itself, there is an organization that is able to deal with such huge volumes, right? There are other organizations which, we'll come to later, right? So what I'm saying here is that the models that are interesting will be those that address at the bottom of the economic pyramid. ऊपर वाले को तो, बहुत कुछ मिल चुका है. They will get it, okay? And then, the irony is that, as I said earlier, I was hinting that, in management classes, including School of Management, IIT Bombay, or the IIMs, right? There is more and more information being produced every year, right? But it's not really resulting in many solutions, right? So there was a survey done about a few years back, 2013, in IIT. In a survey of 550 students at IIT Bombay, most said that they were unable to relate to the courses and their faculty were unable to interest them in the courses. Now you could say कि, students आजकल पढ़ना ही नहीं चाहते हैं, right? So maybe it is a problem that however much you try, they will not be interested. But yet I think there's something else happening, So what is my incentive increasingly as a professor? To have what on my CV? Publications, right? So last 10 years, I can see myself clearly. There is more and more pressure that Shishir Kumar Jha, please publish in certain journals, right? A class, जो भी है, ranking है उसका. आपको भी मालूम होगा, right? I'm not talking Greek and Latin to you, right? So my incentive increasingly is aligned with publications, and less time I want to devote to what? To classroom teaching and preparation for classroom teaching. So there's a divergence. And students पे भी उतना pressure है कि more and more of them are interested in what? Placement. Right. So parents come with their 18 or 19-year-old, JEE में exam में whatever, top 1000 rank है, बहुत अच्छा rank है, right? The 19-year-old is in the middle, mother and father on either side. I'm not exaggerating. The first question they ask, in the, what is it called? the sessions we have with faculty, right? First question they ask is 4 साल के बाद क्या पैकेज मिलेगा? So students जो है उसका उनका बच्चा जो है वो बीच में वो he's getting the message. The placement is what I need to look for. And media also, you said, in a way, 1 crore job uchhal deta hai, right? And there may be only 10 to 15 of them who get these jobs. So even institutionally, we are not able to respond to the depth of the problem that is facing us. Right? Which management school will deal with waste management as a problem? There is no future. Manager बनेंगे आप waste management company में? नहीं बनेंगे ना. शादी नहीं होगी शायद, कहाँ काम कर रहे हैं? Right. So the paradox is very interesting, right? Between what society wants and what we are actually offering them. Okay? Okay. I'll come to examples again once in a while. Okay? Both, many times the problem is also with our policy. Right? Getting the policy right. Housing, I told you, 10,000 units, 50,000 units. We need millions of units. Right? Mumbai BMC, right? Bombay Municipal Corporation. What is your guess of annual budget for education in BMC? कितना expenditure होगा? Any idea? BMC is the most, has the highest amount of funding in Asia in terms of a municipal corporation. Asia mein, hai na? How much did you say, sorry? Not bad, right? 4,000 to 5,000 crore. 4,000-5,000 crore यदि school का budget है, sorry, education का, most of it is going to schools. Don't you think the BMC children going to those schools should have the best education possible? Right? But is that the situation? Why not? Resources की बात है ना, resources तो है, we have the resources, but why aren't we able to produce children who are exceptional with that kind of money? Right? So here is an interesting example about how policy is sometimes made. It's a simplified example. So the example is the following, right? There are 3 children, Ram, Radha, or क्या बोले, Rupa, right? They are fighting over a flute, right? So just imagine, right? There's a flute lying on the ground, okay? And all 3 say कि नहीं, flute किसको चाहिए? मुझे चाहिए, right? And all 3, well, just for the sake of argument, are making a good argument. The argument बना रहे हैं. They're not using violence, or they're not just grabbing it. So they all each make an argument, right? So think of this like a resource. You want water, I want water. He wants housing, he wants credit, right? Why should I give you credit? You should have a better argument to get credit than I should have, right? You want a job, you should have a better argument to get a job than I should. So policy is around creating an argument around कि हाँ, let's be fair. Everybody should have equal access to resources. Okay. तो flute पे जाते हैं वापस. Okay. So Rupa says she claims the flute on the ground because she is the only one of the 3 who knows how to play it. Is it a valid argument? I mean, we may not agree that is the only argument, but is it a valid argument? कि flute रखा हुआ है और दोनों भी बोलते हैं, right? Rupa, Ram and Radha said yes. Rupa is the only one out of the 3 who can play this flute. Is that a valid argument to make? I should get the flute because I know how to play it, and you 2 guys don't know how to play. ठीक है? Okay. Ram defends his case by pointing out that he is the only one among the three who is so poor that he has no toys of his own. Right. The other two say yes. राम बोल रहा है कि बॉस आप लोग के पास माँ बाप तो इतने अमीर हैं कि हर एक अगले दिन आपको टॉय मिलते रहता है. राइट. आई हैव नो टॉय ऑफ माई ओन. शुड ही गेट द टॉय? Yes, no, valid argument, not valid argument, valid argument, right? In India, we also have right now the welfare state. Narega hai, so many things. That's a welfare state, right? So who's left out of the three? Radha. What do you think? Radha is quiet? No. She makes another argument, right? Radha points out that she has been working diligently for many months to make the flute with her own labor, and she lost it. Right? She made the flute, kahin gum ho gaya. Right? And just when she had finished her work, she complains that these expropriators have come along to try to grab the flute away from me. So Radha ka argument ki boss, you can play the flute, you don't have a flute, but it's me who made the flute. Right? Now tell me, who should get the flute? The one who can play it, the one who has made it, or the one who doesn't even have a flute? Bataiye. Very easy answer or not an easy answer?
Who made it?
Who made it? And why? Why would that be? Maybe I can give another argument. You made it because your father had so much money that you got a very good education in Harvard University. No, I'm just giving. So we can get into it, but I can give you a lot of counter examples to you choose any one of the three, Ram, Radha और Rupa. मैं आपको बहुत counter examples दे सकता हूँ कि उसी को क्यों, इसको क्यों नहीं. Right? The point being made is that in policy making, when you have any resource, कुछ भी हो, job हो, water हो, credit हो, whatever, right? Many people will make these kinds of arguments, all of which you said are valid. They're not out of thin air, right? So how do you decide which of these policies the government should implement? You may be pragmatic and say कि तीनों का mixture कर सकते हैं. Right. So many times government does not really have a good way to address the problem. But what will be a better way? A better way to address the problem is to really be able to get data, for instance. Right. Who really needs what on what terms? Right. But the reason I'm showing this slide is that policy making is often done with half guess. Maybe this will work. After 60 years, laga ki no, it has not worked. Right? So there is no, unlike physics, chemistry or engineering, there is no very clear, unambiguous answer. Okay? Okay. Coming to our water, right? Water crisis. Okay. 7 lakes feed Greater Mumbai. 3.4 billion liters per day. काफी है ना? 3,400 million liters per day. कहाँ से आ रहा है? How far? 100 kilometers away. So, कैसे आ रहा है 100 kilometers? Pipes. So, there must have been a cost to making those pipes from 100 kilometers. Yes? Okay. Bihar, Tulsi, Bhatsa, Middle Vatarna, Upper Vatarna, Tansa and Modak Sagar, right? And Bihar is actually just behind IIT, right? Powai Lake में तो बहुत ही, it's very polluted, right? So you should never even dip your finger in that. Don't do that, right? So water comes from 100 kilometers away. Yes, those pipes which were laid actually maybe 80, 90 years back. Right? Where does it come to? 100 liters per day for 50% of the population. Only 50% of the population for last, God knows, 50 years, right, have been getting this water. And how do the rest get the water? Maybe tankers or, whatever, some, maybe even stealing from those big pipes, right? And then we have a very brilliant technology at the end of that. Kyun brilliant hai? Why am I calling brilliant? I'm being a little sarcastic here. Why is it so brilliant? This last. Why is it? Why would I call it brilliant? 80% of distributed water discharged as wastewater. Itni mehnat se we bring water from so far away, right, to 50% of the population, and then we discharge 80% of that water. Now tell me, is this very economically sound logic? Do it just needs 1 hour of investigation or even less to know that this problem. I'm not giving you a very, very theoretically informed problem. Hey, anybody who's been reading the papers for some time will know this, right? So, what is the solution to this problem? What do you think? Is there, जो पानी अभी बरस रहा है उससे कुछ solution मिल सकता है? What solution? Water harvesting. Right. Ridiculous, the amount of rain that we get and we don't store it. I mean, I don't even know how to calculate. Some of you probably can, right? In a period of 2 to 2.5 months, we know the amount of water we get on average, right? We could get easily of the proportion of, 300 into 30 days or something. So we're talking about, 10 meters, right? Suppose for sake of argument, right? 10 meters on average in Mumbai, every household or every large building is able to tap into that, right? And then we connect it back to that well. शुरू में जो दिखाया आपको, that woman going down, it's 2 kilometers away from Vetarna Dam. So those women and those people are not allowed to draw water from the Vetarna Dam because Prof. Jha के लिए पानी आ रहा है वहाँ दूर से. They can't do that. So if we use less of that water, it's possible that the surrounding places can use that water. Yes, possibly. So this complex web of issues, we do not want to pay attention to, right? And we just let it fester and fester and fester, right? Just 1 year, suppose the monsoon comes 1 month late. Right. I think by end of May, the water availability, water levels in these dams were, down to about, 5 to 10% or even less, right? So a delay of 1 month is crisis. So the Bombay is literally living year to year on water. I don't know about your individual cities, कहाँ से आपको पानी आ रहा है, you could just do a similar sort of assessment of where you're getting the water, who's getting it, who's not getting it, and how, so what kind of innovation. So one innovation is at this level, right, at the last of the, wasting less water in terms of flushing it down the toilet. One innovation will be social innovation, right? Or socio-technical innovation, right? Water harvesting, right? There could be so many other social innovations, but we have to think of this as a huge problem. Policy makers, people in management, we have to think about it, right? Housing crisis. Some more details, right? So, high income group, if I give you some statistic, basically what you see is that economically weaker section and no income group, right, 95% of shortage. These are figures from government itself, right? EWS LIG, 95% of housing shortage, urban and rural. And rural housing shortage below poverty line, 90%. Right. So it's a huge, and most of the countries in the world which have really progressed has happened because of housing. Why? Housing से क्या relation है economics को? Anybody? What is the relation between housing and overall development of the economy? Any thought on that? But also, what goes into the house itself, right? There's so much backward linkage. You need rubber, you need cement, you need bricks, you need all of those things, right? So the more houses are built, the more are there backward linkages, more the cement, more the other things, wood, furniture, sabki zarurat padegi, right? So housing is a huge component of GDP of advanced countries. But somehow that logic has escaped us. Right? We have not really invested in, now the present government is trying to put in policy, we have to see that it is actually implemented. We are not talking about Bombay. Bombay is atypical. Land costs are so high, to get low cost housing in Bombay is very difficult. So you have to go to Palghar, you have to go to Kalyan, you have to go a little far away. But we are talking even in smaller cities like Muzaffarpur. I go there every summer. My father lives there. Each time I go, I despair. क्यों? सड़कें वैसी ही हैं, population बढ़ते जा रहा है. There is no sense that people can have housing in slightly distant places. So anyway, planning is an issue, but basically we are not also providing resources, right? So people are crowding into Patna. If you go to Patna, in fact, very crowded. Housing, actual housing is a problem, and housing finance is also a problem. Getting finance to build, to sort of, pay for your housing, right? So total home loan portfolio was worth 10.5 trillion. Banks and HFCs. So the last one is where, perhaps interesting for you. From the housing finance perspective, 70% of finance is provided by informal sources for most people. Right? 70%. Informal matlab kya hua? Mostly money lenders who charge an exorbitant amount of interest, upwards of 25-30%, even more. Right? So how do you reach out to this large segment which desperately wants a house? Right? So we need innovation in housing finance, right? Credit. So it's beginning to happen, but we are not paying very clear attention to this, right? So financial infrastructure for servicing LIG is virtually absent in most parts of India because they have irregular income, right? Lack of documentation, right? False perception of lack of affordability. There's so many problems, right? A rural person will hesitate to go into, even a place like Muzaffarpur, State Bank of India के branch manager के office में most people will hesitate. Right? The person will look you up and down, आप कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? There will be sense that, and if you try very hard to get a loan, they will very quickly reject it. For my son who's gone for higher education abroad, it took me 3 months as an IIT faculty with my salary, etc., to get a loan sanctioned. So if you're an ordinary person with bare amount of income levels, it's mostly we know this story, right? I mean, I don't have to repeat it. We know that most people are unable to get loans from public sector banks. Waste, right? Per capita waste generation in major Indian cities. Chennai and Mumbai at the very top, Delhi too, right? Waste generation kg per capita per day. चेन्नई वाले थोड़ा ज़्यादा मेहनत करते हैं वेस्ट जनरेशन में. Sorry? Sorry, I didn't get you. Hyderabad, 0.4, right. For some reason I put this in red, but anyway. So there is also large compostable matter in Chennai. So what we are doing is wet waste को landfill में डाल रहे हैं. But if you segregate it at source, right, it's possible and hugely possible to treat the wet waste and use it in your garden, in your own society. But what is happening now, who is very happy? The truckers who take the waste from your society. Because per truck they get their collection from the municipal corporation. So if you're from your society, instead of 5 trucks, if I take out the wet waste, it will become 10 trucks with wet waste. Right? So I'm happy. Right? But I could be treating the wet waste in my own society. It's beginning to happen slowly, but too slowly. Right? So if waste management is really there, staring us in the face, where is really our innovation in that space? Right? So unsustainable landfills. You heard of NIMBY? NIMBY? Not in my backyard. Not in my backyard मतलब लैंडफिल मेरे बैकयार्ड में मत कीजिए, उनके बैकयार्ड में कीजिए. तो उनका बैकयार्ड कौन सा है? Which is that, where will we all agree that his backyard is the best backyard? Will you agree? So, which backyard becomes the most convenient backyard? The people who have the least political voice. So, it's mostly you'll see landfills are in that part of the city where there is the largest, poor population, because they have the least political voice. आप लैंडफिल डाल दीजिए साउथ बॉम्बे में, देखते हैं क्या होता है. राइट? गवर्नर का हाउस है, वहां पर बगल में लैंडफिल डाल सकते हैं. नो, आईआईटी के बगल में डाल सकते हैं, क्यों नहीं? बहुत 550 एकर्स है, बट वी कांट डू इट. राइट? We'll put it in that part. You see any city in India, where is the landfill? Near slums or wherever there is least amount of protest that can happen. Right? And the worst part is the waste collectors. Right? When you don't segregate at source in your household, फिर कहाँ जाता है? Basically, it goes into the landfill and they segregate, and the conditions of their segregation, they mostly do it by hand. They don't have gloves, right? In fact, they're doing the city a great favor because they're taking out stuff which can be recycled. But that should have happened in my household. But I'm pushing the problem onto somebody else, and we're talking millions of tons. We're not talking, small kgs, right? So if we segregate it at home, right? If we put up a little more penalties of better segregation, incentives of improving segregation, maybe our waste management may improve. So what I'm saying is that there's a lot more social innovation that is required, right, for waste management and many things, and we don't always have to look at technological innovation. Okay. So like a river running through society, a current that is constantly shaping individuals, just as flowing water shapes individual stones in a riverbed. Right? So we are all, as individuals, like a river running through society. We are all getting, the stones get shaped, right, by like a river that runs through, a certain part, right. We also, individuals, are getting shaped by all of these things that is happening around us, right. And either we work with these social currents when designing interventions, or ignore them and find ourselves constantly swimming upstream. So one important part, what I'm trying to say, is about our incentives that we give to each other. Do monetary incentives work all the time? Seriously. I'm not asking in a very half-hearted manner. Suppose class khatam hua, right? Or, so you are actually in a course of mine, you're not guests to IIT. Usually I take evening courses, 6 to 9 class hota hai. And at the end of the class, I go out. My sort of flat is a little further away from the courses, where classrooms are. So I have a car usually. I sit in the car, and I'm taking my route back to my residence. 9 o'clock, I'm feeling hungry. घर जाके खाना है. बस स्टॉप पे 2-3 लड़के हैं खड़े. मेरा मूड अच्छा है, बोलो चलो बॉस बैठ जाइए, ड्रॉप कर देते हैं आपको हॉस्टल में. Right? Many of us would do that, maybe on some day. So, I take them to hostel 12 or 13, right? Which is, maybe 1.5 kilometers. So they're also tired, I'm also tired. At the end of that journey, मैनेजमेंट स्कूल में उसको इतना पढ़ाया है स्टूडेंट को कि कोई भी चीज़ फ्री में नहीं मिलता है. तो ही टेक्स आउट हिज वॉलेट. सर थैंक यू, हियर इज वॉट एवर 50 rupees. What do you think? Good thing to do? I've done something, but he thinks I should not have done it for free. So are there things that we should do without monetary compensation? And what are those? आपको ठीक लगेगा यदि somebody gives you money for everything you do in life? But now we are seriously into this state. So behavioral economics is all about thinking about incentives to improve behavior, to change behavior. Yes? So should we always give monetary incentives to encourage people to behave in a certain way? Yes? No? I gave you an example. Right? So give me another example where giving money may actually be counterproductive. Because if that student actually gave me 50 rupees, I would have been really offended. Yeah. What are you trying to do? So any other thought that crosses your mind where if you give money to somebody, he'll feel really offended. Aapne, what did you do? Kyun kiya aapne? Because there is, in social life, there is reciprocity. Right? I'm doing something for you not because I'm expecting reward from you in return. I'm doing it because I expect that you perhaps will do the same thing to me. So मैनेजमेंट स्कूल में लेकिन पैराडॉक्स ये है कि बस वी ओनली टॉक अबाउट मॉनेटरी इंसेंटिव्स. पैसा ही दो, पैसे से ही आपको इंसेंटिव बनेगा एंड देन पीपल विल वर्क हार्डर. आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट्स अनइम्पॉर्टेंट. ऑब्वियसली इफ आई गो इनटू एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आई एम नॉट वर्किंग इन IIT फॉर फ्री. आई एम गेटिंग माय 7th पे कमीशन. ऑल ऑफ यू आर गेटिंग योर salaries and wages, right? But there are so many examples in social context, And this is where social innovation can happen, where if I'm given money for something and actually may end up feeling less incentivized, less encouraged. Ulta kaam hoga. Can you think of any example? Just no. Which one? Solid waste. So where is the incentive? So just elaborate on that if you will. Okay. So you're saying people are giving some of the wet waste home. Okay. So maybe if if my wet waste I see is helping improve the overall vegetation, etc. in society, I'm not going to ask for being paid for my wet waste that I segregate at home. That's one example. I'll give you more examples. Right. So our beliefs, desires and behaviors are affected by social preferences, relationships and the social context in which we live and make decisions. This is very crucial, I think, and comes back to the very first point I told you. Hamare problems are becoming very social, deep, very complex social problems, and we are addressing all of them at the individual level. Right. What we're trying to say is that we need to understand that our individual behavior patterns is deeply influenced by social norms. So if you don't understand the social norm, then we are often completely ignorant about why individuals are behaving in the way they are behaving. Right? Usko lagta hai ki, if he is not segregating at house, why should I segregate? We look at everybody else, Bombay mein line mein khada hona thoda sa, there is some discipline, right? And I immediately, I told you the earlier example, right? I will not throw a piece of paper in this place because it is looking all very neat and clean, right? If you throw a piece of paper in Singapore, you will actually get $100 fine. The same person, if I drive in Mumbai, I can have road rage and behave very badly, and if I drive in Singapore or US, I'll be perfectly aligned, very good citizen, right? Kyun? Same individual, two geographies behaving very differently. Kyun? Penalty, maybe penalty, but also social norm, no? Because I'm seeing this guy is behaving that way. No police guy is like hovering over us ki, lag raha hai ki system has helped you encourage in a certain way. Thailand mein jaiye, forget US. I don't know if you've been to Bangkok or in parts of Thailand, hardly any honking. Like hamara to kya birthright hai ki road pe pahunche to we have to start honking. The whole road has to be cleared ki Shishir jha aa rahe hain, hat jao bhai. It's like almost, because the hand cannot move away from that the horn, social behavior patterns, isn't it? I mean, so many things around us, we get incultured into it. वो कर रहा है तो मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. And after a while, it is like, we just keep on doing it irrespective of whether it is helping us gain our, ends or not. Okay? So, as a society, we value reciprocity and fairness. Right? A willingness to cooperate in the attainment of shared goals. A tendency to develop and adhere to common understanding and rules of behavior. Right? If I feel that you are really, behaving according to rule of behavior, I will also be inclined. Right? So what we do is often contingent on what others do. Local social networks and the ideas, norms that propagate them exert important influences on individual behavior. Right? But hota kya hai ki, there is something a word called collective goods. Right? Collective good is when several people, so public and collective goods are problematic because everyone prefers to take advantage of the efforts of others. Right? So basically, I'll get away with not segregating, like, kyunki, nobody's going to catch me. Free rider problem. Right? So that is something that the social norms in US, for instance, yadi aap, if you throw garbage and it is found that it is not segregated, very quickly you said penalty, right? There's a penalty. So one way of discouraging is penalty. The other way is that social norms are so strong that people just don't do negative things, irrespective of penalty. I'll give you one example, for instance. I'll come back to these things. So, finding parents. Kya hua ki, once parents were not picking up their children after school, who arrived, so fine. So basically, the idea was कि उनको फाइन किया जाए. अपने बच्चे को स्कूल के बाद जल्दी नहीं आ रहे थे लेने के लिए. They were not picking up. So what is one way to do it? Let's find them. Normal thought. Intent was to deter tardy pickups, but the finding actually increased the number of late coming parents. Why? What do you think happened? You understand, the problem was that they were not picking up their children on time. The school authorities thought कि boss, let's find these parents. उल्टा असर हुआ कि फाइन करने के बाद they actually ended up coming even later. What do you think happened? Sorry? Yes. So what happened was, the program put a price on what had previously been a moral behavior. Picking up your children on time was an ethical behavior कि हाँ बच्चे हैं, आपके ही बच्चे हैं, आप जाके उठा लेंगे. Right? But finding them reframed late pickups from a morally inappropriate action into an economically bargainable one. कि स्कूल ठीक है, अब स्कूल चार्ज ही करेगी ना, आधा घंटा लेट भी हो गया तो ठीक है, दे विल फाइन मी, आई कैन अफोर्ड टू पे दैट हाफ एन आवर एक्स्ट्रा फाइन. So when you monetize a behavior pattern in a certain way, you actually got the opposite effect of what you wanted. Right? That's true.
Parents are thinking like, okay, we have paid the expensive amount and they have to come from the officers on the, why don't they need to do?
Could be.
So it is like we have to look on all.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the children are waiting to be picked up. So if you are the parent, you are wondering whether should I.
What's the solution then?
What's the solution?
Parents should understand that those schools, even that teachers are also parents.
Right.
And the teachers should say that, okay, they
Right.
are also working, so they will be coming good. At the time, they can increase the children's income. No, this is not solution.
So maybe one possible solution is that parents and teachers need to really have a very clear, meeting, right? A very, thorough meeting about, okay, here is a problem. It seems trivial, but it appears that many children are not being picked up after school. You tell us a solution. Teachers should ask parents, what do you do? Tell us. Should we fine? If the fining had come as an answer from parents, maybe they would have agreed. Maybe parents would have, but if it was seen as an imposition by teachers on parents, then the parents are not agreeing. So many times, individuals and citizens and social groups are able to think of answers, लेकिन कोई पूछता नहीं है. Because the state has, state and authorities feel that we know all the answers. I don't need to consult you. Yes.
Nowadays, parents are working, both.
Yes.
Mother, father, both are in
Yeah,
work.
that's true.
They are leaving their children to the school.
Yeah.
Many times,
Yeah.
they don't find time to pick them,
Pick them up.
and done. What the schools are doing, they are transporting them to daycare
Hmm.
after school. Then they are asking parents to go there, collect, so someone else is looking after the kids in daycare.
Right.
There they have to pay. The school has to be closed.
So you're right. There are, other layers of problems, and at the end of the day, both the teacher and the parent are responsible for the children, right? But yes, when the school is over, once you are in school, it's clear responsibility with the teacher. But the school is over, then what happens? Who is the responsibility of the student, of the child? Right? So I think a better solution may emerge when you actually have a real consultation between parents and teachers. Right? Some may be willing to pay, but genuinely so. Some may be saying that, okay, if there's a delay, you find some way of penalizing us, etc. Right? But often what happens in social contexts is the authorities assume कि penalize कर देंगे तो people will start behaving. It doesn't happen. And it in classrooms it is happening all the time. Right? We keep saying plagiarism mat karo. Right? Plagiarism is a big problem. आपके class में है plagiarism? I mean copying and pasting. Yes? So usually you keep on saying, please don't plagiarize, but why is plagiarism increasing by the day, everybody? Because it is so easy now, right? So easy to cut and paste. When I was doing my PhD, I had to, all of us perhaps, we had to literally go to the library, take down notes, right? So you can't have all of this on your laptop and cut and paste into your work. So no amount of requesting from students seems to be decreasing the plagiarism problem. Right? So what is the solution to this behavioral issue? Right? Okay. So adding money for an activity previously undertaken without price compensation reduces rather than increases the level of activity. Sometimes you add money for an activity without price, you actually make it worse rather than better. Right? And money-oriented motivations are different from socially oriented motivations. Giving you a ride to your home, right? Taking care of your neighborhood, right? Or social segregation at way. There's so many issues which are at the heart of our social well-being, right? Which I think requires an understanding on its own terms, rather than putting money to improve the behavior. That's what I'm saying. The social context of most of our problems. For the bottom of the economic pyramid, at the bottom of the economic pyramid, the social dimension is very strong. We need to understand that. If we don't understand that, we are completely missing the picture. Okay? Okay. So there are a few more slides, but maybe what I want to do is maybe just ask you to. So norms are the glue and cement of society. Humans are hardwired to develop and adhere to norms. Imitation is one of the key ways humans learn strategies for interacting with the world. Swachh Bharat program. So there are many versions of whether it's succeeding or not succeeding, right? But there is at least a message that has gone out that this is something that we have to think about. Open defecation, swachhta, etc. So there is now at least a debate around it, right? Because we keep hearing, for instance, that many people are building toilets, but it's not being used for toilet purpose. Right? It's being used for other purposes because government is giving you 6,000 rupees. You're making a toilet, but it's not being used. But nevertheless, there is a conversation that has started in the country that, well, this is something that we need to think about, right? Okay, so I'm going a little faster here because I just want to, take time for you to. So there is a conclusion page, but I'll come to it later. So instead of me talking a lot more, what I've tried to do today is point you in a completely different direction from normal context, right? Most of our innovation is about individuals. We get our patents, we get our copyright, we do wonderful things as individuals, right? And we are glorified, rightly so, right? Shishir Jha ne itne patent laya, wonderful. He should get his promotion, etc. But what I'm trying to tell you is that most of our problems in society cannot be solved, and you can challenge me on that, and I'd love to hear you giving me counter arguments. But most of our problems which are affecting those at the bottom of the economic pyramid cannot be solved by mere individual initiatives, right? It has to be a social collective approach. If that is part of the answer, that we have to go beyond the individual, then where do we look for solutions to addressing these problems which compromise the social? क्योंकि जो साइंस और इंजीनियरिंग बैकग्राउंड से जो हम लोग आते हैं, मेरा भी बीएससी केमिस्ट्री में है दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी, राइट, बिफोर आई वेंट टू डू माय पीएचडी इन पॉलिटिकल साइंस. Science and chemistry, science and engineering mostly, doesn't look at the social dimensions of the problem, right? And that's the issue also in our classrooms, right? Most of the students who come even from management come from engineering backgrounds. So we never talk about the social. The social is only seen as an afterthought. ठीक है, अच्छी बात है, social के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. But I'm turning the table on its head in a way, right? I'm turning the problems upside down. Whether it's the housing problem, credit problem, etc., we need to think of addressing the problem from a social perspective. So let me just pause here. I'd really love to hear if I'm completely off the chart, or if you have any thoughts, you agree with me, disagree with me, please make my day by at least giving me some of your thoughts. Let me get some thoughts from you. ये social dimension कुछ समझ में आया कि बिल्कुल, I was completely, talking like, IIT का prof कुछ भी बोलना चाह रहा है, बोल रहा है कि कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है. बोल दिए कुछ तो. Let me provoke you. I can keep on provoking you because that is what I've learned to do in 18 years in IIT. Provocation is something I love to do. बोलिए. हाँ वो तो है, लेकिन वो बड़ा मुश्किल है ना. कैसे कीजिएगा पॉपुलेशन चेक? आप जाएंगे, मैंने how will you do it? One way that was tried was Indira Gandhi in 1975 emergency में imposition. Monetary incentives.
In the sense that you provide all the facilities.
But let me be provocative. Maybe that's actually an asset that we have a huge population.
Biggest hurdle.
It can, but it's a hurdle because there's a huge amount of, huge amount of congestion because we are not developing our smaller cities and towns. So क्या हो रहा है बिहार में? सब लोग पटना आना चाहते हैं. At least in Maharashtra there are about 8 to 10 cities, so people go to different, right? In Chhattisgarh I don't know. Maybe Bilaspur is bearing the brunt of it. So why is it that all our development is city-centric? Why should somebody come all the way from Bihar to work in Kerala, in Karnataka, in Punjab, in Gujarat, right? So there is no local development of of jobs, employment, etc. So people are migrating, right? The internal migration in the country is very high, but 200 to 300 million people, 200 to 300 million people are migrating every year. क्यों जाने की जरूरत है? Internal, in the country. That's a huge number. You go to villages of Bihar, it's called a money order economy. बिहार से कुछ लोग हैं ना? नहीं है? अच्छा, बिहार के हैं. मनी ऑर्डर इकोनॉमी सुना आपने? नहीं. Money order economy means what? That basically now it's not, now in the digital age it's no longer money order in the same way, but basically the person who's gone to Gujarat, is sending the money through the money order and you're receiving it in your home, right? The people left behind in the village is basically, your spouse, your wife and children, right? The male is outside. So money is just being sent every month. Money order economy, remittance. So population, actually, I don't see it as a necessary problem. It becomes a problem because everybody is crowding to those places which has, a lot of resources. Bombay ho, Delhi ho, capital cities ho, right? Japan has higher density population than us. Yes. But they're not, China has also a large, population. Yes, they went in for one child thing, but I'm not saying China is not, a model of growth because there are many things there which is very authoritarian, right? So that's one thing, but frequently मुझे लग रहा है, I'm just saying at a very gut level that most days you look out, Bombay may be different. As I said, I go to Muzaffarpur and I really despair. The doctors who are throwing the medical waste out on the street. Right? आपको degree, you are a well-educated person. You got MBBS, obviously, MD, MS, जो भी है, but it's not that I don't know this is wrong. It's that nobody will do anything about it. So is that not also a social problem? So, how do we turn this around a bit, saying that our so-called individual problems that we are contributing at the end of the day becomes a huge social problem, right? So, development requires that we also rethink our models of development. Our models of development, I think, are too individual-centric. We need to think in terms of groups and in social dimension. Right? If IIT Bombay has a mandate to do, wet waste to compost, लेकिन हम लोग नहीं कर रहे हैं. I hope I'm not being taped, but so we are not doing it because BMC is not finding us or something. Many large societies are not doing this.
IIT Bombay को कोई social assignment दिए हैं government ने? Any kind?
Even if you segregate, they don't have system to collect the different kind of waste by the municipalities.
Yeah, that is a problem, but I think the pressure should go from households to municipality to the other way around. अभी हो क्या रहा है कि it's the other way around. They say that we don't have the capacity, so we are not going to put pressure on you to segregate better. Right? We are in a negative loop. We need to go into a different loop, in a different cycle where the pressure comes from households to say that we want to have a cleaner environment, right? We want to have a better waste management, right? So basically you're right, but you're right because as individuals in households, we do not have any interest in improving our.
We want to say suppose our household, but they are not collecting it separately. हम हम अगर चाहेंगे भाई जो है जो बायो वेस्ट है उसको अलग करें तो
Right.
but they are not collecting it separately.
तो हाँ मुझे लग रहा है कि वो प्रश्न can we take the initiative?
When they
Yeah.
are mixing it, then
Right, that's true. But we also can we as households take that initiative, right? Because I live in a building which has 60 flats, right?
so we do it in our own way.
Yeah.
Like जैसे पौधों में डाल दिया या
Hmm.
छिलके तो गाय खाती
Right.
है, उसको गाय को डालते हैं. We do in our way. But there is no proper mechanism for that.
But those mechanisms we have to invent ourselves. No? Ultimately, the which I showed you per capita consumption, it's going up every year. Right? 0.5, 0.6, it'll be 1 kg in soon. So, do we want to be surrounded by dirt and waste everywhere? Right. आपके tell me which engineering problem, all of you are engineering background, yes? आप बता दीजिए, मैं चुप हो जाऊंगा. कौन सा ऐसा इंजीनियरिंग प्रॉब्लम सोल्यूशन आप लाएंगे कि पूरा वेस्ट विल गेट डेल्ट विथ ओवरनाइट? यू विल हैव द बिगेस्ट लैंडफिल इन द वर्ल्ड, मे बी गिनीज बुक ऑफ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड में लिख देंगे कि वी हैव द बिगेस्ट लैंडफिल इन ऑल आवर सिटीज, राइट? विल दैट सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम? सो हाउ इज वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट एन इंजीनियरिंग प्रॉब्लम? ओनली इट इज. It is also an engineering problem because you have to, know where to take your waste, etc. But how can it only be an engineering problem? It's also a very clearly social problem. Anyway, so I don't know how we're doing with time. Done? Okay. Well, if I have provoked you a little bit into thinking a little, just a bit about these questions, that is part of what we do as faculty. There are no very easy answers, but the point is, what are the questions that we have to try and think about? So thank you for listening. Hopefully you'll have a great week here. So thank you once again. Okay.